Hi, and welcome to The Bright Balloon, a podcast where I'm sharing bright ideas for your balloon business. My name is Sarah Meyer, and I'm a balloon business owner like you, and I love the creative side of what I do, but I really love the business side, which seems to be the part where most people struggle. So I'm here to help. Each week, I'm bringing you an episode full of bite-sized tips you can use to make improvements in your business. I want you to make more money, eliminate stress, and learn along with me as we grow our creative businesses together. Welcome to The Bright Balloon, presented by 17 Hats. Hello and welcome to today's episode. This is the final episode of the year, and I'm so excited to share all of your wins. So I asked listeners to write in if they've had some success that has come from a podcast episode to let me know. And you guys delivered. So I'm going to be reading through a few of these. This is not even all of them, but I am so glad to see the impact that this podcast has had on many of your businesses and many of your lives. And other than keeping this platform going, I know I'm responsible for very little of that. And that makes me so happy. It's all of the guests that have taken time to come on. Guests are not paid. They do not pay to be on. They are all just generously giving their time, their tips to better our industry. So that makes me so happy that so many of you had memorable and noticeable changes and improvements to your business as a direct result of something you've learned on the podcast. So we are going to get into all of those wins, and then I'm also going to share everyone's favorite episodes of the year. So they're all over the map, but I love sharing these episodes. If you have just started listening or you haven't started from the beginning, I'm going to just kind of go through a list of episodes, and we are going to do our best to link those in the show notes. So that'll give you a good place to start if you feel like binging some of your favorite and memorable episodes. So let's take a quick break and head over to the UGlu Hotline and then get into our final episode of the year, which I'm calling That Worked. Welcome to the UGlu Hotline, where we discuss great advice that sticks. Brought to you by Pro Tapes. If you have a question or some great advice to share, click the link in the show notes to call in and leave a voicemail.
Hi, this is Wendy from Stars Above Balloons, and I wanted to say thank you so much, Sarah, for this amazing platform. I've been hearing you since day one, which is almost 4 years ago. And my tip of the day has to do with making an unloading sign. Some of us don't have a wrapped vehicle that has our contact information on it. So in this case, you will make a sign. I did ours on Canva. It has our logo, our contact information, and I got them printed, laminated, and I have a total of 2. These are what I keep in our van, or when I rent a U-Haul and the truck, it stays with us and it's ready to go. It simply says, hold tight, we are unloading balloon magic. We will be back, and there's a space where I write down with a dry eraser at what time approximately I'll be back. And this way, it makes it easier in case we need to move our vehicle and security comes and checks. This makes it easy so the security or people on staff are able to contact you so you may move your van from the location so other vendors could unload as well. It just makes it easier. It also makes it very professional so they know that you're serious about unloading and loading your balloons and that you'll be right back. I attach it to the front windshield of the van and also on the driver's seat, so it makes it easier for them to see. And I, of course, use Pro Tape, Scaffer tape to put on there. And then once we are all done, we take them down and we move our vehicle. I hope this tips makes unloading and unloading jobs less stressful for everybody, and I hope you guys have all a great day. Bye.
Pro Tapes is a leading manufacturer of specialty tape products like Pro Gaff, Pro Artist Tape, and our favorite balloon tape, UGlu, which helps you create amazing balloon arrangements and decorations in less time. You can save 5% on UGlu when you buy directly from Havin A Party using code BRIGHT at checkout. All right, let's jump right into it. So I am highlighting some of the things that worked in your businesses, little tips or things you heard from an interview, ideas you had as a result of the Bright Balloon podcast that have worked when you put them into use in your balloon business. So let's kick things off. First, we have Katie from Balloon Babes Cornwall, and she said there was an episode where you mentioned getting a trailer for your van, and I had never thought about that option before. So we bought and branded a 5x8 foot trailer, and it has saved me so many kilometers. All right, she's Canadian, so she is saving mileage. I'm sure she's saving rental fees and back and forth by picking up a trailer. That could have been from an episode with Joette from Balloon Coach. I know that she ran her business out of a trailer, so if a van is not in the budget, a trailer could be a good option. Let's see, moving on, we have Linda Ritchie from Confetti 765, and this is a really nice one. She said the catalyst to jump into the deep end and just figure it out. She was motivated by the podcast. I've done typical parties, VBS, that's Vacation Bible School, proms, and I couldn't get my business launched because I was waiting for the perfect time when there really is none. Absolutely. Fast forward, and I recently was approached by a local university. I submitted a quote with little confidence. I actually prayed they would select another vendor for fear of failure. They wanted all in, took the gig. I designed, inflated, built, and installed the whole deal solo. Homecoming is huge in my little town, and if I flop, I'd move away, LOL. That's so funny. So she said, in October, it was a gorgeous fall day, no wind, seamless install. Client commented that it was by far but beyond her expectations, and she was blown away. If I hadn't been encouraged by Sarah, this whole time, I would have talked myself out of everything. It's official. Confetti 765 is launched, and it was launched once I figured out this Instagram stuff. Okay, don't worry about Instagram. You are a professional, Linda. If you have done a paid job and it went well, you've launched, your business is up and going. So that's super cool. There is no right time. You're never going to have it figured out. And I'm so glad that you had a successful installation. That's really exciting. Let's move on. Nicole from Party Balloon Studio was encouraged to start sending out a monthly newsletter. Love it. Amber Reyes from Vash Event Design said, I took your advice and I purchased a van. I've been able to save so much not renting U-Hauls, and you were right. It's easier to take on more jobs, bigger installs, and because of the extra space. I also started offering grab-and-go garlands because of your episode, and I also purchased the course you offered, and I am loving it. That is awesome. Thank you so much. RC from Wowlloons said, I stopped worrying about content being perfect and I just go for it. I post it. This has really helped me grow my account and be visible to more potential clients on social media. Amazing. That is awesome. I still struggle with that, honestly. As much as I say don't worry about it, it's really hard. Let's see. Livy from Libby's Party Design said she finally hired help. Congratulations. Okay, this one cracks me up. This is from Pop Creations, and they said, I can't remember anything right now, but I feel like I learned so much from you. I wish my brain could remember. Oh, yeah. The emails. I have started putting myself out there and straight up emailing big companies I want to work with. I feel so proactive, and I actually landed a big job with my city directly that is recurring each month, and that was a goal of mine. Oh, congratulations. Let's see, Lush Balloons. Based on your business model, I created my own pricing catalog and color chart, and that has been so helpful. I get tons of feedback on how easy the booking process is with me. Wonderful. This one is from Andrea Horseman from Amazing Balloons. And she said the Profit First program. I'm so glad I learned about it in the beginning. So that is a cash flow system. Lots of episodes on Profit First. Solange, or Soul, from Balloons by Soul, said she ran and got the balloon calculator from My Balloon Toolbox. And oh my God, I know exactly how many balloons I need, how much to order, and I have completely removed the anxiety of guesstimating for a job. I fill out the spreadsheet and I count and fill the containers for each job, and I have no worries about running short. Best investment ever. So just a heads up, that is the episode with Emily from My Balloon Toolbox. She also runs Utah Balloon Creations, and she has a download available if you are looking for a balloon calculator. I also started Honeybook after hearing so much about automating things, and I will never look back. Invoices sent, reminders, and my clients' onboarding is clean and quick. I've received many compliments from my clients saying how they appreciated how streamlined the process was. Oh, that's wonderful. And just a heads up, right now is a really, really good time to start a CRM. It is overwhelming. It feels exhausting, but I think the start of the year is the best time to start a CRM. So I use 17 Hats. She mentioned Honeybook. Something is better than nothing. If you're using email and paper and pencil, the first of the year is a really wonderful time to force yourself to start using a CRM. All right, and let's end this section with Sheena, my friend from Dream Big Balloons. And she said she signed up for Balloon Suite within 2 months of officially starting my business, and it is the best thing I have ever done for my sales. So she worked with one of our sponsors, Jeff from Balloon Suite, and his team put together a beautiful website for her, and she said it's the best investment ever. She's getting leads from it all the time. So congrats. Sheena did an entire episode about the insane growth that she's seen in her business. She is down in Texas, and she's an incredible artist. So let's take a quick break, and then we have more wins to share. You've heard me talk about Havin A Party Wholesale in almost every episode of the podcast for all of your balloon purchasing needs. But today I wanted to highlight an upcoming event called Twist Fest, which will be hosted by Havin A Party. This in-person event will take place on Tuesday, January 7th, 2025 in Brooklyn, New York. And you can sign up for just $50 to learn from your favorite balloon artists and meet the manufacturers, including Sempertex, Tuftex, Jamar, Calisan, Brookloon, and Megashine. Registration is open now and spots are limited, so head to havinaparty.com to register for Twist Fest. All right, let's jump right back in. Elizabeth from Balloons in Bloom Boutique said, after your last episode talking about having backups of any item that you have your fingers crossed they wouldn't pop. Oh, okay. So I talked about in the bonus episode, I talked about getting rid of Murphy's Law. So the things that you can do to make sure that nothing goes wrong. So one of those things is having extras instead of, crossing your fingers that the number 2 doesn't pop, because then you're screwed. And she said, it was a total light bulb moment for me. And on my deliveries this week, several had personalized and specialty foils. So I made sure I had backups of everything, and it totally reduced my stress. Well done. This one says, no wins just yet, being early days of my business, but I'm definitely feeling more organized, business savvy, and confident that I can make this work than I was in the idea phase. I can see my idea coming to life. And that was from Oh My Party. Oh My Party Supply, I believe. All right, this next one is from Party Dreams Toledo, and they said, I implemented Profit First after listening to the episode. It is extremely helpful to my business and actually paying myself. Yes, I have started networking and joined the Chamber of Commerce in my city. I really think it's going to be beneficial to my business. Well done. Great action items there. Nicole Anderson from Posh Pretty Balloons said, after reading the pumpkin plan, we eliminated several items from our service offering because they were not profitable and often attracted people who were not our ideal customer. That is incredible. I love that. I think a lot of what we talk about in Profit First is getting more clients and more of what we like to do. And she took the opportunity to eliminate and get rid of the people that they don't want to work with. So very cool. Harmina said from the Rainbow Balloons said Profit First has been a game changer in her business. Megan Sarah from 204 Balloons said so many of the quick voicemail tips, the crowdsourcing advice is genius. So she's loving those UGlu tips, and so have I. I have implemented so many of the tips that you have all called in and left on the UGlu hotline. All right, next we have Tiana Threadgill from 3 Purple Parties, and she said ordering backups from the party or backdrops from the Party Method. So we did an interview with the Party Method. This is who I get all of my design stuff done from, like my printed plastic props. She says, I don't always love the foam board backdrops. Adding vinyl to the spandex one makes me murderous. And painting any wood one can be difficult in its last minute order, or if it's a last minute order. Yeah, painting things is so hard. I already do yard signs, but had never thought about using coroplast as a backdrop material. I built a stand from PVC, stand recipe from Jenny Porter's backdrop class at Float, and I added Velcro strips to the stand and backdrop, and voila, perfect solution since they are lightweight, get in any color, and vinyl adheres perfectly, and they are weather resistant. Okay, so let me just explain that because I read it kind of choppy. So there was an interview with Emily from the Party Method, and she does custom printed sheets of chloroplast. That's one of her offerings, like a prop. But you can get the entire sheet of chloroplast printed like a custom backdrop and even cut out. And then Tiana has this brilliant idea to kind of Frankenstein a backdrop stand that she learned from Jenny Porter at Float. And she now Velcros on and off these interchangeable backdrop stands. So that's amazing. They're waterproof because they are plastic. You can adhere vinyl to them. Wonderful, wonderful tip. And I don't think that's even a tip that we gave on the podcast. That was like a tip that Tiana just gave in her own win. So very cool. Let's see. This one does not have a name, but they said they also enjoyed the UGlu tips. And this final one says, win at Bubble and Bash. Your Google Business hot tip has driven more leads than social media, and I'm so helpful. So I don't know if that was a tip that I gave or maybe one of the episodes when we were talking about SEO. But yeah, don't neglect that Google Business profile. Sometimes, it feels like social media is just this endless game that we're playing. And if you focus more on Google, you can get people who are searching for balloons and finding you that way. Amazing, amazing. I am so glad that you guys wrote in. There are more, but we are going to keep this one brief. I want to take one more break, and then I want to talk about your favorite episode. So I'm just going to rattle off a bunch of episodes. If these sound interesting to you, we will link them in the show notes. I am so sorry, Nicole, who is editing this episode. This is going to be the worst task that I've ever had you do. You're the best. All right. We are going to take one more break and then get into favorite episodes. And then I will wrap up sharing some exciting plans for the future of the podcast. If you're looking to grow your balloon business through sales and marketing, Balloon Suite is the high-tech toolkit designed just for you. Let's chat with Jeff Kelly, owner of Balloon Suite, to answer one of your sales and marketing questions. All right, Jeff, today we're talking about Instagram. We have a question about when is it time to take your business off Instagram and bring it somewhere else? At what point do we start treating it like a real business, and what do we do?
I love the journey of starting with social media. You get to know private event clients generally really, really well, and you hear all the questions and you see all the critiques and you see all of the sharing, and you really get to understand how social media can help you bring in sales. The next thing that you can do is branch out and help customers find you by themselves. And some great ways to do that are with your Google Business profile. Create that Google Business profile, start asking for reviews, occasionally put a post up there about some great event that you've just done with some photos. Another great way to do this is to start a website. There are many, many providers out there for your website, including Balloon Suite. And that website allows people to find you without you having to go find them and without you having to do the social media hustle. What you will find is that as you branch out into these other ways of marketing and other ways of making people aware of your business, is that the mix of your clients moves from very, very private party focused to branching out. You'll be doing a lot more work with businesses or schools and other types of clients. And some of those other types of clients are a lot less stressful to work with and are a lot less demanding to work with than the clients that you gain when you're just on Instagram or you're just on Facebook. So I really encourage you to go ahead and take that next step at the moment you first think about it. Get that website. We could help you with that if you wanted to. Go get that Google Business profile. Go start doing business networking. These things will really change the mix of clients you have coming into your business and really help you get growing.
Thanks so much. Balloon Suite helps boost your sales, solve everyday problems, and keeps you on track to reach your goals. Check out the link to Balloon Suite in the show notes wherever you're listening, or head right to balloonsuite.com. Okay, welcome back. Let's talk about some favorite episodes. So this first one is an episode from the Patreon group. So if you are not a member of the bonus episodes, there are additional episodes every single week over on the bonus episode. So either on Patreon, or you can subscribe right in your Apple Podcast app right on your phone. So those are my solo episodes. I used to do a mix of solo and interviews. Now on the main channel, it's pretty much all interviews. And on the bonus episodes, those are just solo episodes with me. So that's where I share a little bit more info about my business. I keep some of that just a little bit more under wraps as the podcast has grown. It's made me second guess how much I want to share publicly about my numbers, about my struggles, about my employees. So if you find that stuff interesting, that is behind that $5 paywall. So it's $5 a month. You get all the episodes. So from the Patreon episode, the favorite was the info about my Wizard of Oz balloon breakdown. So I did a $100,000 balloon install. I know there's a lot to it. And I talk all about it. I talk about how I got that job, what it was, how I hired people, how I budgeted, what went wrong. That is a juicy episode, and that is over in the bonus episodes. A couple other favorites, Pumpkin Plan, the Wowlloons episode, Tiffany from Confetti Castle. I think I've listened to all those podcasts multiple times. Yeah, Wowloon was about styled shoots, and Tiffany from Confetti Castle, we talked about marquees most recently, and she was on an episode with my small mastermind of other balloon people that I'm in. Episode 100 with Treb was my favorite. Yep, that was my favorite. Talking to Treb, who basically invented our industry, will be a hard episode to beat. That was really, really fun and memorable. This person said any episode with Creative Heart Studio. Okay, big fan of Lily. And then Presley Page. And yeah, that one was eye-opening for me as well. And then Tiffany from Confetti Castle as well. This one says too many to list. I honestly take something from every episode. Okay, this person said the last interview with me and my husband they enjoyed, and also the interview with Treb about how he basically invented the Disney balloons. Yep, amazing. This one says Brian was one of them. So that was Brian from Bonsai Balloons. I really appreciate Brian's brain. He talks all about business. He talks about his employees. It was a really, really good episode. I don't remember which one it was, but we will link that as well. Another favorite episode was with Jeff from the new owner of Click Click. I always find those interesting as well, talking to manufacturers. Joette was her favorite episode, talking about her long career in balloons, what has changed over the last, several decades, and what she would do different knowing what she knows now. Someone else mentioned explosive growth with JoJo. That was one of the favorites of mine as well. She has a full brick and mortar, a full staff. She talks about how she does scheduling. That was a really wonderful interview. Next up, we have someone whose favorite episode was Allison from Tough Techs. Again, I think we all really like hearing from manufacturers and from some of these business owners. So I'll have more about that in a few minutes. Hey, hang on. A couple more here. A favorite was Chrissy with Blush Balloons, LaMarvelous, Extra Betty, Flavia, and Misty. Okay, that was a lot. And yes, I love those too. So Chrissy is, she's incredible. She is the #1 Etsy seller of DIY balloon garlands, and she's basically started like a mini distribution place for balloons, but for balloon artists. So she is selling now small quantities of balloons. So if you just need like a couple clusters worth of a weird color, she's your girl. LaMarvelous, I loved this episode. He has such good branding, such unique names for his products. He's just so wonderful to talk to. Extra Betty, I love talking to this wonderful couple, not only about what it's like working with a spouse, but they were really honest about some of their investments, like the Betty bubble. So they bought the bubble house and they weren't sure how they felt about it. Flavia cannot be forgotten from Partistry events. She talked about how she got a special surprise in the back of her van. It's like one of the most memorable episodes for sure. And Misty from Balloons by Misty, always so many great tips talking about how she's kind of moved into like this artist choice model and has different tiers for her pricing. So a really, really great episode from Misty. And we're going to end on this one. Someone's favorite episode was the one with Tommy. And as many of you know, my good friend Tommy De Lorenzo of Balloons by Tommy recently passed away. And besides all the memories I have with him, like I'm very glad that he did record an episode on the podcast that I can go back and hear his voice. And he and Scott recorded an episode that might be hard for me to listen to, but it was still full of tons of great tips about growing a business to a massive scale, very successful business. And it's great to have their voices, I guess, forever saved on this podcast. I'll just say that. All right, let's take one more break, and then I'm going to talk about some of the upcoming plans I have for the podcast for 2025. Before we wrap up this week's episode, I wanted to let you know that the 2025 Bright Balloon Business Planner is now available on Amazon. I created this planner a few years back when I was looking to purchase a planner to set my business goals, and everything I found was way too overwhelming. It included everything from a monthly schedule to your kid's soccer practice schedule to your grocery list. It was way too much. So I created something very simple and straightforward, simply for your business, for setting realistic goals and tracking your important numbers. So if that is something that will help you in your business, like it's helped me, it's available now. You can search on Amazon for the Bright Balloon Business Planner or click the link in the show notes wherever you're listening. I hope it helps. All right, welcome back. Let's wrap this thing up. Not only this episode, but for the year. I just wanted to share some of my plans for next year. I'm very excited. I feel like my goal this year was to not quit, not give up, not lose ground, because I had a baby and that was hard. And having the balloon business and the podcast, sometimes I feel like I'm juggling a lot. And my goal this year was just to sustain, like financially, schedule wise, interview wise. Like I just didn't want to fall behind. And I'm proud that I survived this year. And now I'm going to put my pedal to the metal. Like I am excited to ramp up this podcast. So 2025, I'm going to try some new things. We're going to have new guests. We're going to have new sponsors. And I am so excited that we are going to kick off the year with a month from Tough Techs. So they have hopped on as our first curated sponsor of 2025, which means that they are choosing the guests for all 4 episodes for the month of January. And they have recently announced the Tough Techs experience, so I'm sure they'll have more information to share about that. But I'm excited to get some bigger manufacturers on the podcast. I have others lined up, so you will be seeing these curated months brought to you by some manufacturers, some well-known brands that you will be very familiar with. I'm so excited because the more support that the podcast gets, the more I can spend on it. I can spend my energy, my time. I'm so glad that this has turned into a business from a passion project, and now this is what I get to spend my time doing. I am also launching a YouTube channel. Pray for me, you guys. This is, for some reason, I'm so comfortable talking and I'm so uncomfortable on camera. I also don't know how to edit video. Like it's very different than audio. Audio, you just see the little waves and you just like chop out the dead space, and that's pretty much it. Video is a whole new thing. So I've invested like $5,000 on new stuff. So I bought a MacBook, I bought a really nice camera, a DSLR, I bought like wireless microphones, I bought bigger SD cards, bigger hard drives, like all the things, because I don't want this to just be kind of half-assed. So I am doubling down. Actually, I have gotten some of my first content recorded from Balloon Boss Summit. We did that live because I don't anticipate the YouTube channel just being the same thing as the podcast. I want it to be actually totally different. Similar, but different. I don't have any intention of just publishing Zoom calls onto this channel. I really want them to be in-person interviews. I want to play, I don't want to say games, but I want there to be like segments and activities. I think it can be a bit more fun, goofy. I want to show you personalities of people in the balloon industry, maybe show products, demonstrations. I'm not totally sure yet, but I'm just excited to kind of expand to YouTube and to video. So that is a whole new thing, a whole new learning curve, but that's what I love best. Like I love a new challenge. And the podcast will stay primarily interviews. The bonus episodes will be solo shows, and then YouTube will be a mixed bag. And I'm going to give myself the grace to like not have a schedule. So it's not going to be weekly. It's maybe not even going to be monthly. I don't know, because I have no concept of how long these videos are going to take to record, to edit, to get up. Like I have no idea yet, so I'm not making any promises, but there will be some fun content over there. So if you want to follow the Bright Balloon over on YouTube, there's like no videos and no content, but there will be soon. Other than that, I have signed the contract for the Glow Retreat in 2025. We'll be doing that again. Lily from the Creative Heart Studio will be returning, and she will be joined by another instructor as well that I am excited to announce later on in the year. So I am just so excited about the podcast. I am so excited about the creativity that this allows me and the business wins that it allows you, and your positive feedback is just amazing. Any feedback is amazing. The fact that anybody listens, I am just still so grateful. And I know our industry is small, but I just love this little niche. I have no intentions of going anywhere, and I cannot wait for some big goals in 2025. So cheers to you. Congratulations to everyone who had a successful business year. I hope you are as excited about 2025 as I am. And I will see you soon in the next year. Thanks for listening. As usual, I tried to keep it bright and light. Our presenting sponsor is 17 Hats, the CRM I use to cut the chaos and manage my entire balloon business. From the lead capture form on my website to workflows and email templates, invoicing and grab-and-go garland automated bookings, it's all powered by 17 Hats, the best customer relationship management system for balloon businesses. There's even a 50% off coupon code waiting for you in the show notes wherever you're listening. I'll see you next week in another episode.